didn't see it coming. It's just another interview, a basic celebrity sit-down, nothing special, nothing that was going to change my life, or so I thought. Then she walked in, and everything shifted. She wasn't just another woman. She was a global superstar, someone the entire world watched, someone who could have any man, any attention, anything she wanted with a simple glance. But that's not what she did. She didn't glance, she didn't flirt, she didn't speak, she didn't even smile. She simply walked in, and the entire room bent around her like gravity itself was adjusting to her presence. And men who were mid-sentence froze, words dying in their throats. Women who were laughing and chatting suddenly went silent, eyes tracking her movement across the room, caught in the current of her energy. I found myself leaning forward as if I was about to be given a secret that could change everything, because in that moment, without saying a single word, she taught me more about attraction, power, and presence than every book, coach, or endless video advice I had consumed in desperation ever had. She showed me that what draws people in, what makes people unable to look away, is not words, not forced charm, not trying to be liked, but something deeper and more subtle. It is the energy you radiate without effort, the kind of silent authority that makes people want to be near you, makes them want your attention without you ever asking for theirs. I realized in that instant that what she had was what most men spend their entire lives chasing, but never truly find, because they look in the wrong places. They think lines and strategies will bring them what they want, but the real power is when you can stand in silence and the room pays attention. When you don't have to chase approval because your existence commands it. Asterisk, she showed me that when your energy is fully rooted, when your body language is relaxed but intentional, when your eye contact is clean and steady but not needy. You don't need to say a word because the room will speak for you. Women notice without you trying to be noticed. They feel something around you that pulls them in without understanding why. It's not about having the right lines or trying to be funny or constantly keeping the conversation alive so she doesn't lose interest. It's about embodying a certainty that she can feel, a calm strength that doesn't need to prove itself, a quiet power that doesn't need to take up unnecessary space or noise to be recognized. What most men don't realize is that the second you try to prove yourself, the moment you start performing for her approval, the moment you start trying to convince her of your worth, you have already placed her above you, and she can feel it. She feels the moment you need something from her, even if you're saying all the right things, even if you're trying to hide it behind fake confidence and constant talking. When you can sit in your own energy without needing her reaction to validate you, that is when the shift happens. That is when attraction begins to build. She taught me that the strongest pull is often created in silence. How you stand, how you breathe, how you move, how you hold your gaze for a moment longer than is comfortable for most. Then break it calmly, without fidgeting, without dropping. Your presence? She moved slowly, each step placed with intention, her posture relaxed but unshakable, her chin level, her breath steady. It was as if she had nowhere to be, nothing to prove, no one to impress, and that alone made everyone want to impress her. In that moment, I understood that speed is insecurity and slowness is control. Control is magnetic in a way words will never be. Asterisk, in a world that's always in a rush, where everyone is moving fast, talking fast, laughing loud, and trying to fill every second with noise so they don't have to sit with themselves. She moved in a way that was slow, unhurried, deliberate. It wasn't the kind of slowness that came from laziness or hesitation. It was the kind that came from total control. From the comfort of knowing she didn't need to fight for attention because attention naturally gravitated towards her. Every small movement she made had weight, from the way she adjusted the sleeve of her jacket to the way she shifted her stance while standing. It was all done without any rush, without any care for who was watching, and yet everyone was watching because there was nothing else in the room that demanded attention the way her stillness did. I watched her and realized how much I had been running, trying, forcing, filling silence with jokes, stories, comments, just to keep a woman's attention. afraid that the moment I stopped speaking or moving, I would disappear from her interest. But what she showed me is that when you are truly powerful, you can let silence stretch and not be afraid of it. You can let there be pauses in the conversation. You can let the air hang between you and her without anxiety because you know you are enough even in the quiet. She barely smiled, and that shook me, because most men, including me, have been conditioned to think we need to be constantly smiling, constantly agreeable, constantly entertaining to win her over. But she didn't need to do any of that. Face stayed neutral, eyes calm, posture solid, and that neutrality pulled people towards her, made them want to earn even the smallest acknowledgement from her. In that quiet, controlled presence, I learned that true attraction is not about performing. It is about being so full within yourself that you don't need to chase her attention. And that is what makes her give it to you freely. Asterisk, women are not chasing your words. They are chasing the feelings they get when they are around you, the emotions that you stir in them without trying, without forcing, without begging for their attention. That female star made me understand something most men will never get because they are too busy trying to impress women with jokes, stories, and compliments, thinking that if they say the right thing or act the right way, she will finally notice them and choose them. But the strongest feeling you can give a woman is not certainty, not constant validation, but a calm strength paired with a subtle uncertainty that keeps her wondering about you, keeps her thinking about you when you leave. The room keeps her analyzing every small gesture you make, every pause you take, every glance you give her. It is not about coldness or being rude. It is about restraint, about not giving her everything at once, about letting her feel your presence without drowning her in your need for approval. It is about letting her curiosity build, letting her lean in because she wants to, not because you forced her to. When you don't need her attention, when you don't need her validation, when you can stand in your own presence without reaching out to take from her, she feels it and it draws her in, because that is the energy of a man who is complete within himself. It is the paradox of masculine attraction, that the less you say and the less you try, the more she feels, the more she wonders, the more she invests emotionally. I saw her give brief answers, hold eye contact for just a moment longer than usual, then look away and let the silence do the work for her. And that silence was louder than any words could have been. It created a space that made people want to enter, made them want to earn her attention, made them feel something they couldn't explain. And that is what true attraction looks like when it is felt, not just heard. Asterisk, so I tried it. I stopped forcing myself to be interesting, stopped speaking just to fill the space, moving fast to keep up with the noise of the world around me. I began to enter rooms differently, not to be noticed but to feel the space, to let my presence arrive before my words ever did. I stopped walking quickly with my head down, stopped the nervous laughter, stopped the fake enthusiasm I thought. I needed to keep people liking me. I slowed down my movements, stood taller, let my shoulders relax back, breathed deeper, and allowed silence to be my ally instead of something to fear. At first it was uncomfortable. I wanted to reach for my phone when I was alone in a room, wanted to jump in with comments so people wouldn't forget I was there, wanted to laugh along even when I didn't find things funny just to blend in. But I remembered how she moved, how she held herself, how her silence was never empty, but full of something deeper, and I chose to practice that. Slowly, everything changed. Women began to look at me differently, leaning in without realizing it, asking me questions, holding my gaze longer. And the women who once overlooked me started noticing me without me needing to demand their attention. They could feel the difference because I was no longer giving away my power to be liked. I was no longer seeking validation in every interaction. I was no longer filling silence because I was afraid she would leave if I didn't keep her entertained. I let her come to me, let her enter my world instead of chasing hers. And in that space, I saw her become curious, saw her want to understand me, saw her trying to impress me without me asking for it. That was the shift, the moment I realized that true attraction is quiet, forced, and undeniable, and that when you become the man who is good with or without her, you become the man she cannot ignore.